Hi, what is going on? It's s7yler here, and in this video I will review the Huawei P8 Lite, a stylish mid-range phone with pretty good performance. I got the phone from gearbest.com, and as always remember also to check out the video description for more details. This phone has a 5-inch IPS 10-point multi-touchscreen with 720p HD resolution and claims also to have Gorilla Glass 3. It has the Hisilicon Kirin 620 64-bit octa-core CPU clocked at 1.2 GHz and the Mali 450 GPU clocked at 500 MHz. It has 2 GB RAM, 16 GB ROM and support for TF cards. It comes out of the box with Android 5.0 with Huawei's Emotion UI 3.1 skin. And the phone is dual SIM and has of course also support for 4G LTE. But if you're interested in this phone, remember to check that your network provider in your country is supporting the bands that this phone comes with. You can find these below in the video description. So it comes here in this white box here, and together with the phone you get here first of all of course the wall charger, branded here with the Huawei logo. Then you also get here the USB cable, so you can connect and charge the phone. And then you also get some earphones here, also in a pretty good quality. You get here a SIM tray opener, a small pin. And last but not least we get the quick start guide for the phone. So now let's have a look here at the phone design, and the phone here is very thin and compact. It feels solid in the hand. On the rear we have here the 13 megapixel rear camera with aperture 2.0, and on the front we will find here a 5 megapixel front camera with aperture 2.4. The phone also on the front has a notification LED in the top with real multicolor. We have here on-screen buttons, so the phone does not have any hardware buttons. And below here we also see the Huawei branding. On this side here we have nothing, and this looks like a metal frame, but in fact this is just made of plastic. In the bottom of the phone we find the microphone together with the USB port. We have something that looks like stereo speakers, but in fact this is just an illusion. We have here only the speaker in the right side. So on this side here we find two trays. So this phone here is dual SIM, and you can use here in this tray here a micro SIM card. In this one here we will support a Nano SIM card or a TF card. So you cannot put all the 3 cards in the phone at the same time. You have to decide 2 SIM cards or 1 SIM card and a TF card. And here we see the power button together with the volume rocker. And here in the top we find the 3.5mm headphone jack, and I believe this is a noise cancelling microphone. On the rear we have the 30 megapixel rear camera together with a dual LED flash. We see here the Huawei logo and branding. Below here we see the CE logo, and you also notice that we have some kind of texture here on the back. Gives a really good grip, and it's comfortable to touch and hold in the hand. Very nice finish. And also the back here is just made of plastic, and the back side is non-removable. And now let's have a look here at the lock screen. We see it here, and you can swipe up here actually, and you can see we have some quick toggles there. We have here the music player. So here we see the stock UI, and let me just try here to show you the speed. As you notice, it's very smooth and nice, very fast and snappy. And below here you also notice we have here the on-screen buttons, so there are no hardware buttons here. And the phone also supports double tap to wake, you see it here, or we can use different gestures. W, this will start up the weather, you see it here. Let's try another one. Let's try, for example, the M for music. Yeah, and you can see it's pretty fast actually. And let's have a look here. In the top we have the Quicktoggles there, and we see here notifications, and we have here also a timeline, so you can see when you got the notifications. And here you see the multitasking overview. You can also here swipe up to clear. Okay, so here you can also see widgets, wallpapers, transitions, more settings. And here in more you can see you can change the home layout. We have here different things you can enable or disable. So another feature is also here, you can double tap on the volume rocker to start up the camera and take a snapshot. Like this. Okay, let's have a look here in the camera. We see here beauty mode, we have video, time lapse. Let's see here the filters here, different color filters. Okay, what do we else have here? We have some settings. So let's see, HDR, best photo, audio node, panorama. We have the all focus, watermark. So the all focus is that it will focus on the entire picture, but you can afterwards change the focus area. Very convenient. Let's see here, settings, we have more here, resolution. So this can be set to 13 in full screen or 10 in a widescreen. Let's get back here. We have here GPS tag. We have preferred save location, perfect selfie, and so on. And I will, as always, also provide some high resolution camera samples below in the video description, so please have a look there if you want to see the true quality of the pictures here. So this one was taken with the front facing camera. You can see this is also pretty good. And now let's have a look here on the reception and the Wi-Fi. You can see Wi-Fi is absolute in top. Network reception is also pretty good here. I'm using dual SIM right now. One with 3G and one with 2G. So the phone of course also support the 4G LTE, but my SIM card here is not supporting the 4G network here, so I can unfortunately not show it here. But you can switch around the SIM cards, which ones should use the mobile data. So both trays will support 4G or 3G. That you can just change in the settings. And let's now try a test call. So this is the proximity sensor. Let's see here, we have here 1.
You have no messages in your voicemail box. To listen to your messages, press 1. To change your personal options, press 2.
Okay, so you could also hear that the sound from the earpiece here is loud and clear. Very good. So next up, let's have a look here in the settings. First of all, let's have a look here in home screen style. So you can change this to simple, for example here. Let's try this. And we see it's in simple mode here. Okay, and let's have a look inside display. We have here the color temperature, so here you can change from warm to cold. And we also find here increase readability under sunlight. So that's a nice thing. Let's see what we else have. We have the storage, internal storage. We have 16 GB total storage. So total is 10.38 GB, free 7 GB right now. I have filled it up with 2 GB apps. We have some pictures and videos and so on. Of course, you can also insert a SD card here, and you can change the default location from internal to the SD card if you have one. And we also found storage cleaner. So here you can use a smart scan to remove unnecessary files. Then we also find the power saving mode. So we see here ultra, smart, normal, and so on. And you can also see each app, the consumption level. And another thing is that when you have an app in the background that is using a lot of power, actually there will come a notification asking, do you want to close this app because it's draining the power? And that's a pretty nice thing, because then you can close this app. And we find something called motion control. We have flip to mute, shake to rearrange, double touch to wake, and we have draw. This is the off-screen gestures, so draw and C to start the camera and so on. You can also change the app here. We have the navigation bar here, so you can change the back button, the home, and the menu button. You can even also add a fourth button here, the notification drawer. Then we have here the one-hand UI. We have more here. So we have suspend button. So what is this? Some kind of shortcut menu here. We have here touch disable mode, prevent mistaken operations when you have it in the pocket, for example, or in the bag. And we also see it has support for gloves here, gloves mode. We have language and input. Let's just check here the language. So we support nearly all kind of languages here. Let's see the RAM usage, the consumption. And we see here system 416 MB, apps 219 MB, free is 1.1 GB of RAM. So that's absolute fine. So now I will show you some test apps and the results. I will, as always, also in the end tell you about the pros and cons, so stay tuned. So we are now in the end of the video, and let me now tell you some of the pros and cons. So first to the pros. The P8 Lite has a very thin design and very good build quality, even though it's made of plastic. It feels solid and very good in the hand. The phone supports GPS with Glonass, and out of the box it has a very fast and stable lock, and also the signals are up to 46 in the GPS test app, which is rarely seen. The camera provides some decent pictures, and overall I was very happy with the quality and speed. Also the rear LED flash is very bright. The bottom speaker in the phone is very loud and with a good quality, above average. The sound with earphones is also good and I have nothing to complain about. It has a notification LED that supports real multicolor. The vibrator in the phone feels hard and direct, meaning pretty nice. The Hisilicon Kirin 620 64-bit octa-core CPU provides good performance in the UI, and almost all kind of games run smooth, so it definitely has enough power. And last but not least, the battery life is actually good on this phone. Despite it has a small battery, I actually never had a real problem going through the day with it. So the cons are that the display is only in HD and the brightness is not the highest I have seen, but I must admit that the screen still looks pretty good, and for me enough for a 5-inch. The bezels are not as thin as on the non-Lite P8 version, and that makes it look a little bit cheaper. The phone only has on-screen buttons, no kind of hardware touch buttons, and surely not everyone will like that. The frame around the phone looks like a metal frame, but in fact it's just made of plastic. It does support several sensors, but unfortunately no kind of gyroscope sensor, so it will for example not work with Google Cardboard. While I tested the phone, I experienced that emails not always synced while the phone was in sleep mode. When I then turned it on, it began to sync. Not really a big problem, but just something that I did notice. Well guys, that's it for the video. Remember also to check out my blog. You'll find the link down below in the video description. If you have any questions, please comment below, give a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.